Hey guys, and welcome to GoalNGame. I am your host Liam, and today we are going to be doing the Spain World Cup, or shall I say 2026 World Cup preview. I do have a guest. I'll bring him in just a second. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy. Smash the like, hit the subscribe button, and without further ado, let's get into this.
It's all over, I think. No. And he's got Perez, he's got some fiddler on the pitch. They think it's all over. It is now. It's four.
So yeah, guys, hopefully everybody is doing well. Big up to 10 every single time for that intro. And funnily enough, 10 is here to represent Spain and to help me with this, because he obviously lives in Spain. You can see him; he's obviously wearing the Spanish top. He's got the is that flag behind you? Is that a scarf? Sorry,
Yeah.
scarf. And yeah, so he knows a lot more than me. Obviously, I know a lot of the players because they play in on the European stage and so on. But yeah, that's the main reason. So yeah, big up to everybody. Make sure if you haven't already, please do smash like, hit the subscribe button here on GoalNGame. Check out 10. His link will be in the description, and we'll do the collaboration feature as well. So please do subscribe to him. You know, everyone that I've had on doing these previews are all doing content. So if you check out any of the other previews, please do check those out as well. But yeah, big up, buddy. Thank you for coming on. And yeah, man, we're talking about Spain.
Yeah, obviously, looking forward to the World Cup just in general, not just Spain, but like all the 47 teams that are in it, including Italy. I'm joking. But yeah, looking forward to it, and can't wait to see what we do for this preview.
No, 100%. 100%. So yeah, guys, if you have checked out any of the others, we have done other ones. So we've done Brazil, we've done Germany, we've done Portugal, England, and we've done the Netherlands. And now we're doing Spain, obviously, with 10. So yeah, again, like I said, the links will be in the description. So please do check them out. And let us know what you think in the comments. Maybe we say the wrong things or something and you want to go against that. Let me know. Right, goalkeepers, my brother. So Unai Simon, David Raya, and Jon Garcia. What are we thinking on these goalies? Are you happy with them?
Yeah, I think like they're probably the best three goalkeepers. In the some people would even argue one of them's like one of the best in the world, though he'll probably not even start the tournament because Unai Simon is always trusted by Luis de la Fuente. So yeah, out of all, like you have an Arsenal goalkeeper and you have a Barcelona goalkeeper, but the man that will be, I would almost assume, will be starting is Unai Simon of Athletic Club, which, I mean, those three goalkeepers, I think, are probably the best three goalkeepers. I mean, the ones that you could say missed out were Robert Sanchez at Chelsea, but like, come on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll probably say those are like no complaints on the goalkeepers. It will be interesting to see, you know, if Spain were to rotate in the the final game. Will they do that? I don't know. We'll see. And who that might be between David Raya and Joan Garcia, we don't know. But I would probably most likely say Unai Simon is the number one for Spain.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. This is just obviously a question, but do you think David De Gea should have been picked, or do you think he's just not?
I think the time of that has gone, obviously. And he had his chance at the 2018 World Cup, and he didn't. I think he saved like one shot out of 9 or something like that, and got eliminated. So I think his time is done, I would say, and the other goalkeepers like that as well. And that's, you know, ever since Unai Simon's come in, practically.
Yeah. No, 100%. What do you think on obviously, again, like you've just mentioned it there, obviously Jan Garcia is obviously the Barcelona goalkeeper. Ter Stegen obviously got pushed out of Barcelona, and he's been playing most of the games, if not all of them. David Raya obviously has just won the Premier League, and then Simon is obviously, he's not playing for a big club in that sense. So would you play David Raya because of the experience of the Premier League, or do you think continue with Simon?
I would say there's a difference between club football and international football, I would say, and that's why I know some people will say, oh, why? What? Like some people would ask, why is David Raya or Joan Garcia not starting? Look how good they've been with their clubs. But I think Unai Simon is a goalkeeper. Yes, of course, he could have that one bad moment here and there, but I think obviously since winning he's the goalkeeper that won the Euros, you could say, for Spain, and he was actually not that bad at the Euros. So I think you could still trust Unai Simon with that sort of experience in the international scene. I would, and I think obviously maybe for the future, maybe at the next Euros or the next World Cup, which Spain is hosting, you could see a David Raya or Joan Garcia, or maybe there'll be a goalkeeper up and coming at the time. So I think this is probably going to be, I wouldn't say this would be Unai Simon's final tournament with Spain or final World Cup with Spain, but I think I would still start Unai Simon based on what he's done for the national team before.
Yeah.
And winning the Euros.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. So yeah, they're the goalkeepers. Let us know what you think on what we've had to say. Defenders. So you got Pedro Porro, Marcus Llorente, Laporte, Gabasi's in there. Is it Pubil? Eric Garcia, Cucurella, and then Grimaldo. What are you making of those defenders overall?
Yeah, I think obviously the big omission, the players that didn't make the squad. I know he hasn't had really a good couple of years at Atleti. Is Lenormand is not in this squad. Obviously, probably one of the bigger news was Dean Howson is not in this squad. Actually, there's no Real Madrid players in the squad, but obviously Dean Howson was probably the closest. No Dani Carvajal. So in a way, the back four at the Euros of Spain, half of them is not there anymore. You still have Aymeric Laporte and Cucurella, but you don't have Lenormand and Dani Carvajal. For me, I would say the right back with Pedro Porro and Marcos Llorente. For me, I would say I feel like should be starting Llorente. But I think obviously because Spain is going to be a lot more with the ball and attacking, I wouldn't be surprised if at the opening game, Pedro Porro starts the opening match against Cape Verde, or even the game that happens in 4 hours, 3.5 hours, because Spain play Peru in a friendly game in 3.5 hours. Yeah. So we'll see what sort of squad or the starting 11 will be like. And then at left back, Cucurella and Grimaldo, it's the same two left backs at the last Euros. Cucurella, people at that time were saying, why is he the starter? Grimaldo at that time, had a good season at Leverkusen. But I think Cucurella, has obviously done very well at that Euros and has, I would say, done pretty well in those the past 2 years at Chelsea. So I think I would say certain he would start at left back. And then the center back pairing, it should be Laporte and Kubasi, because obviously with no Lenormand or Howson, I would probably say it will be Kubasi. If not, obviously there's Marc Pubil at Atletico Madrid, or Eric Garcia, which am I surprised a bit, but he's had a good season at Barcelona. But obviously, in the Champions League, you would say Barcelona kept zero clean sheets. So
yes,
that's not a good sign. But obviously, national team and Barcelona is not really the same, though. There's like 8 Barcelona players in the squad overall. But I would start Laporte. Well, I would assume Laporte and Kubasi. You have one player with the experience and one up and coming player. So maybe that's why Kubasi, Pubil are the young up and coming center backs, and that might be why Dean Howson didn't make the squad, because he is also another up and coming player, and he's not really had the best season at Madrid. So I would probably would say the 8 defenders for Spain, I think, or I would say good. Obviously, there was, Carvajal should have been in the squad. For me, I think the ACL injury he got like a year and a half ago, I think he's served his purpose for Spain, and I think now it's time to move on with that. So I was okay. For me, I'm okay with him being left out. I think obviously the big one was Howson, I would say, among the defenders, I would say.
Yeah. No, yeah, that was going to be my follow-up question because I'm looking at players that they could have picked. What do you think of is it Jacobo Ramon, the player that plays for Como, Spanish centre back?
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously, I would say the centre back competition is still pretty high, and
Yeah.
I would say Roman doesn't always. Well, I don't think he's ever been called up. So I would say I think all of these players have at least one appearance with Spain. So I think kind of have to go with that. And obviously, I think half of these players were, or I think only 3 of these players or 4 of the defenders were at the last European Championship. Won. So obviously, because Pedro Porro at the Euros, well, he didn't get called up when he actually had a good season.
Yeah.
And then obviously Kubasi was kind of left out, but he was with the U23 at the Olympics that time.
Yeah.
Pubero wasn't really a name yet at that time. So, and Eric Garcia didn't get called up at the Euros and all. So I think I would probably say it's still pretty competitive. The defenders, yeah, I would say.
Yeah, Ramon is only 21 as well, so he's probably going to be one for the future.
Yeah.
Especially with playing with Como, obviously Como.
And obviously, I would almost assume Laporte, this might be his last tournament with Spain. It feels like. So, I think if you want to bring an up-and-coming, Kubasi and Pubil are probably the best 2 or 3, probably with Howson. But obviously, you probably will have those 2 probably be the defenders for the future. At this moment in time, we'll see in even 2 years or 4 years.
What do you think of Pau Torres not being there?
Yeah, that's probably a shock, though. I would probably say the last time I saw him at the tournament was the Euros that had COVID. It's been quite a while. I mean, I don't think there's really any back pairing, and I think in a way Pau Torres, I think his sort of time has passed now. It's the same with De Gea. Obviously, a long time ago was Sergio Ramos, and he was probably still getting called up. I think those sort of players from the Euros of 2020 that Spain made it for, you could say unexpectedly. I think the majority of those players, I think among the 8 over here, I believe only Laporte and Eric Garcia are the only 2 from the Euros 5 years ago. So it's almost like a completely new. And also at that time, Joan Garcia and David Raya were not in that Spain team from 5 years ago. So I would say the players from like 5 years ago that were the makeup of the team, I think that has now come to pass. I would say the time has moved.
Yeah. Midfielders, what we thinking of the midfielders, and obviously you guys let me know on what you think of the defenders. Midfielders, we've got Hernandez, Zubamendi.
That's Rodri. Yeah.
Is that Rodri? Is it?
Yeah, it's Rodri. Yeah.
So Rodri, Zubamendi, Pedri, Ruiz, Fabian Ruiz, obviously for PSG. Mikel Moreno, we all know about him. Gavi, and then Alex Beneta. Bayana. What we thinking with these, bro?
Yeah, I mean, obviously midfield is probably the most difficult position for the players that did get left out. I don't really remember who's been left out, but obviously the defensive midfielder is going to be Rodri or Zubimendi. Obviously, Rodri is still trying to get back into fitness, you could say. And Zubimendi, I know a lot of Arsenal fans are saying he's not that good or whatever. I think maybe Zubimendi is just not cutting it in the Premier League. But if he's back in Spain at Sociedad, or I know one time there was like Real Madrid links or whatever, then maybe he's a lot better suited for Spanish football, maybe not for Premier League football, even though he's won the Prem. Obviously, everyone knows about Pedri and what he does. Though I would say, obviously, the starting midfield at the Euros, the three were Rodri, Fabian, and Pedri. Most people would say, oh, Rodri, at the time, he eventually won the Ballon d'Or. Pedri is the best young midfielder in the world. But I thought Fabian Ruiz was probably debatably player of the tournament at the last Euros.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
But obviously, and then obviously he's just won back-to-back Champions Leagues as well. I thought he was decent in the final against Arsenal, Fabian. So I think I would say Fabian's probably one of the most underrated midfielders among these players. And then obviously the big sort of news-ish was, is Gavi going to be in the squad? And ultimately, it was Gavi. So I would say that, do I agree to bring Gavi into this squad? Sure, I guess. I forgot who or some of the players that left out. But I think Gavi was, I would say, hit or miss for me. This one, I'm unsure. Obviously, he, about 3.5-4 years ago, obviously was at the World Cup. That was when he was a lot younger, and obviously that was before the knee injury and all that. So, maybe this is his breakout tournament, you could say, because he didn't really have that at the World Cup, really, apart from one goal. And then obviously Alex Baena, I think is decent. He's done well at Atletico Madrid as well. So I'm fine with him in the squad. With Miko Marino, that's another one I'm unsure. Not because he's not bad. I mean, he scored a hat-trick against Turkey during the qualifiers, but he's been injured, and I don't know what his fitness will be. Maybe, obviously, this video will be out after the game against Peru, so we'll see if Marino does play in the friendly game just for fitness or whatever. So I would say the midfield still very strong, obviously, and very technical as well. So I would say it's a good midfield, though I think maybe should have been some players that maybe should have got in, maybe De Frutos at Rayo Vallecano, or maybe...
I've got two here. I've got Alex Garcia.
Oh, yeah, Alex Garcia as well.
And then, is it Fermin, the young player that plays?
Oh, yeah, well, Fermin Lopez?
Yes.
Well, he's injured, so...
Okay. See, this is why I needed you, because I'd be saying, where is he? So
Obviously, I would say if Fermin, because I think Fermin would have made the squad. I think the player that would have missed out, I think could have actually been Baena or Marino, one of the two. I think Gavi somehow was probably going to get into the squad, I would say, but I would say if Fermin Lopez was actually, not injured, I think maybe it could have been, I had a feeling it would have been Alex Baena, I think, among the list that would have missed out if he wasn't injured.
Yeah. No, I'm with you 100%. So yeah, they're the midfielders. Let us know what you think, people. And now let's get on to the attackers. On all of the videos that we've done, this I think is the biggest list of attackers. We've got Ozabel, we got Lamine Yamal, Ferran Torres. You're gonna have to help me with that one. What was that guy's name?
Jorge Iglesias.
Iglesias, Dani Almo, Monius, Victor Monius,
Victor Munoz. It's
Munoz.
with, yeah.
Nico Williams, and then Jeremy Pino, who obviously plays for Palace. So, what we thinking of this? Obviously, you're gonna bring Yamal. Or Yamal could have one leg. He's coming to the World Cup. It is what it is. But yeah, what are you thinking?
Yeah, obviously, we'll find. I'll see. I don't know if I'll be awake to watch the friendly game against Peru, but it's more about the fitness of Yamal and Nico Williams. I mean, both of them since the U, I think, have in a way 2 different trajectories. I would say most people still rate Yamal, but not many people are saying that with Nico Williams ahead of this World Cup. But I would say the good thing is Alvaro Morata is no more, thank God. Obviously, he was the captain at the Euros that won it, but obviously now it seems like it'll be Mikel Oyarzabal from Sociedad that will be the Morata replacement now. I would say among those on the list, I'm happy. I would say I'm happy for. Obviously, yes, as a Deportivo fan, I'm not going to rate any of the Celta Vigo players, but he is from Galicia. Borja Iglesias plays at Celta Vigo. He's like the Hosselu for this tournament, it seems like. And he's the only Galician, so at least that's, something to look forward to for people here in Galicia where I live. Victor Munoz at Osasuna. At the current time, linked to Newcastle. So we'll see if we get him. I would love to have him after he's probably been the only good player at Osasuna in La Liga, even though they finished like 17th somehow, but it's like, 17 is like 12 in La Liga this past season. Jeremy Pino, sure. I don't rate him that highly, but for a backup, sure, perhaps. I mean, I don't expect him to start. I would say, obviously, it all depends on the fitness of Yamal and Nico Williams, because I think for the national team, I think, obviously, they're both very good, and I think they would start if they're both 100% fit, or maybe even 80% fit. So I would probably say if they are fit enough, then play them on the wing. But I would say if not, then I think it should be players like Victor Munoz, and it could be Jeremy Pino as well. I mean, there might be a couple of names maybe that's missed out that I'm trying to remember. Maybe the one that I wouldn't say I'm surprised. I don't know if I'm surprised or not surprised is Gonzalo Garcia, the Real Madrid striker.
Yeah.
He technically did play in the friendly a few days ago, but that's more like just the reserves and all that. But he's not in the squad unless something happens in the friendly game or training. So I'll probably say he's one for the future, because I actually did see him in person for the U21s back in November, and obviously got to see some of the U21 players against San Marino's U21s.
What did you think of that? Was he good?
I mean, the game ended 7-0 for Spain, but yeah, I thought he was pretty good. I think he scored a couple goals. I think he scored the penalty in that U21 game, because it happened in my city here. But yeah, I would say, if I'm not mistaken, only 3 of these players were not at the Euros: Iglesias, Munoz, and Pino, I believe. Obviously, back then there was like Hosselu, Ayoze Perez, obviously former Newcastle, and Hosselu former Newcastle. But I would probably say, and obviously Morata, I think overall it's a good attacking lineup. I would say obviously Dani Olmo, not been the super best at Barcelona, but he actually does turn up for Spain. Obviously at the last Euros, especially at the knockout. So I think you do need that bit of quality up front, and I think Dani Olmo can offer that. He could even play in midfield as well. So obviously Spain does have obviously one of the better attacks and midfields at this tournament, and having that does help. Spain have a player like a Dani Olmo that can play as a false nine, as an attacking midfielder, or anything. Or if Spain need some aerial threat, you bring on Iglesias.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. Ferran Torres, I know a lot of Barca fans don't like him, but he's okay. He's decent with the national team. I think a lot of these players, sometimes they're not that good or not having the best of seasons, but obviously they would turn up for the national team for Spain at the when it's the World Cup or Euros, because I think Spain are currently, if I'm not mistaken, around 28, or maybe I'm mistaken with that. It's like almost a 30 match unbeaten run in international football. The last time Spain lost a game was against Colombia in a friendly in March of 2024. That was the last time Spain lost a international match for the senior team. So it's been a while, and obviously within that run, Spain went on to win the Euros. I know technically lost the Nations League, but they say that was a penalty shootout, so that was a draw technically. So, but overall, I still think the Spain team is pretty good overall, especially in the attack. I think more or less I'm satisfied with the attack, I would say.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. That's crazy that they haven't lost.
Like around 30 games. Or
yeah, that's bonkers. It's gonna be interesting to see, if they lose going in that, which we'll get into in a second. But yeah, that is the squad. So there we've got the goalkeepers, like we've mentioned, the defenders, midfielders, and then the attackers that we've just mentioned. Now we're going to talk about the group. So the group, Spain's group is Spain, Cape Verde, I believe so you say it, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. I'm going to say straight away, Spain need to be top in this group. If they don't, it will be a surprise. So I'm going to ask you that question. Do you think Spain top the group?
Yes. I do think, obviously, in World Cups, I feel like Spain doesn't turn up, apart from obviously winning the World Cup in 2010. But even then, they lost to, at that time, when Switzerland were not that good, still lost to Switzerland and all that sort of stuff. And obviously, that was probably it is a golden generation, because they actually won something, or they won 3 tournaments in a row. But I think Spain in World Cups, especially in the group stage, don't always get 9 points. The last time Spain actually got 9 points in a World Cup group was 2006. And even then, the next round, Spain got knocked out in the first knockout game after winning 9 points in that group. So I think I wouldn't be surprised if Spain drops points in one of the 3 games, but I still would expect Spain to top the group, I would say. I mean, it would be, I think it would be a surprise, and obviously we'll see what happens, because the Spain group is paired with the Argentina group, and the only thing is that Spain finishes the group stage before Argentina finishes their group stage games. So that means Spain do not know if they avoided Argentina or they will play Argentina. It seems like it will be Argentina, but that sort of thing, because if Spain top the group, Argentina finished second in their group, that's the last 32 game. Or if Argentina win the group and Spain finish second in this group, then that's also a last 32 matchup. And I don't think Spain will finish third or lower, though that would be probably the biggest shock in the tournament. But I think finishing top 2 for Spain is obviously the aim, or at least progressing. And, for what it's worth, this does look like probably one of the more straightforward groups among the groups at this tournament, especially the fact that Spain are playing against a debutant team, a team that hasn't been to a World Cup ever in Capo Verde. Obviously, they play Saudi Arabia. The last time they played Saudi Arabia was in 2006, which Spain obviously won. And then the last time Spain played Uruguay was like that Confederations Cup, like 13 years ago or something like that. And Spain won 2-1. But obviously that's, a long time ago. So overall, Spain does have a good record, I would say, among the opponents in the group.
Yeah. So yeah, talking about the games itself, obviously, like we've just mentioned, with this group, they should be topping it, obviously. But they start with Cape Verde, then they go to Saudi, and then the harder game is last for them. A lot of the videos that we've done, England, I believe it's the same with Netherlands. I think they have their harder game first, where Spain, obviously, they're going to be most likely winning, if not all of them. The first two, I'd be shocked if they didn't win, but you never know in football. Yeah, there's that. There's the thingy, and obviously there's the table. Before we get into who they can get and so on, I want you to build your team. So yeah, you just tell me the players. What formation does Spain normally play? Is it 4-2-3-1?
I would say 4-2-1-3, or it's like the 4-3-3, like that sort of formation, 4-3-3. I think that's fine. Yeah.
So is it a 4-3-3 with a cam?
It's like it would be with the team I would build would be Rodri, Pedri, and Fabian. That would be how I would play it.
Okay, yeah.
So I think that's 2 8s and a DM. But obviously, you can always change and bring on a Dani Olmo or whoever. But for goalkeeper, I think it will be Unai Simon. For me, I know some people, obviously, we talked about earlier with David Raya and Joan Garcia. But I think Unai Simon does have the tournament experience with him. So I'll go with him. Left back, from Chelsea, I'll go with Marc Cucurella, and I'll just build the team assuming everyone is 100% fit.
Of course.
Right back, it's between Pedro Porro and Marcus Llorente.
Who would you go with?
I will go with Marcus Llorente for me. Yeah. That's what I would think would start as well. And then the center backs, Laporte and Kubosi.
Did they play a particular side?
Kubosi on the right, Laporte on the left.
How do you spell Kubasi's name?
C-U.
Oh, C-U, that's why. There we go. Yeah, got it. And who was the other one? Laporte.
Laporte. Yeah.
Okay, so there's the back four, obviously with the goalkeeper. So then who would you have as the DM?
Rodri.
Rodri, yeah.
If not, it's Zubimendi, but I'll say Rodri. I'm just assuming everyone's fit. And then it'll be Pedri and Fabian. So it's the same midfield three at the Euros that started against Croatia in the opening match back then. And then left wing, Nico Williams.
Yep.
And then right wing, shouldn't be any surprise. Yermi Pino. No, okay. Yamal. Yeah. And then center forward, Ayafabal. So, yeah, Mikel Ayafabal.
How do you spell his name?
I think if you type Mikel, like Arteta, like that sort of thing, Mikel, Mikel, Merino. Not the second one. No. Oh wait, no, it's the one at Sociedad. Yeah,
Mikel.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like that, basically, more or less.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with it. That's a strong bloody team. My word.
Yeah.
And to have David Raya, I know that goalkeepers aren't that important. We know that they are, but you get my point. like to have him on the bench, not them on the bench. That makes sense. And then the other players that they've got in there. Fernan Torres loves to get a goal. Wouldn't surprise me again if Mika Moreno does get some goal. Be funny if it was against Saudi, to be honest, because it would just be
there's just for doing that to Germany, and then this time it's against Saudi. But
yeah. So yeah, there's the team, people. There's the team, and then the final thing. Let's talk about who Spain can get. So again, obviously we know the Spain's group. We've just done that. So they're in Group H. So the top of H would be
J2. That would be on the nearest.
J2. Like
that's,
you said, Argentina.
That's the Argentina group.
Yeah. So we've got Argentina,
Algeria, Austria, Jordan.
And Jordan, yeah.
Likelihood it's Algeria, Austria. One of the two.
Unless Jordan do a madness, but I don't see it happening.
Yeah. So I would say, or if Argentina don't top the group, they're like or whatever. So I think it'll be a tough match against whoever makes it. Like, let's say if Spain. Well, even if Spain finish second, it's going to be the Group J team as well.
Same thing.
It's the other way around. So I would say it'll be pretty difficult, and also Spain's pathway, unless Spain finishes third or whatever, but let's say Spain tops or second, they don't play a team that finished third place in their group. So in theory, they have to go through the round of 32, the round of 16 against more difficult-ish opponents because they finished in the top two. Because if H1 and J2, let's say Spain win that, you're getting K2 or L2, which is the Portugal-England group, if they were to, whichever one finishes second, or even then you have Colombia and Croatia as well, most likely in the last 16. Or if Spain finishes second and gets past J1, it's D2 or G2, which is actually a little bit more easier-ish. Because D2, it's the USA group, and G2 is the Belgium group. And in theory, probably a lot more easier opponents. So, though I don't think obviously, unless Spain does finish second, I don't think Spain doesn't really matter if Spain finishes first or second. I don't think the players are going to be we have to finish second instead or whatever. They'll obviously want to try to win the group or whatever. So I think the likelihood is going to be the nearer side to us, the J2, and then likely K2, L2. So that's the Portugal England group, and then that would meet D1, G1. So we're still maybe going to meet one of the D or G teams, which is USA or Belgium, and that's the pathway, and then the semis go from there.
Yeah. And then if something happened where Spain fall off of a cliff, even though we don't think it's going to happen, obviously, they would get A1, which will be Mexico, South Korea, Czech.
I think there's a lot of different combinations.
Yeah, there is a lot of different combinations.
Yeah, so that I don't know really, because I knock on wood, do think Spain finish first?
100. But you never know. You never know. But yeah,
be in this knockout bracket.
Yeah, it would be a bit crazy. Like, I do agree with you fully, obviously. But just to preview it, obviously, they would get 1A, and if not, they would get 1I, which would be France. So yeah, they don't want to be going against France, right.
Though, to be fair, Spain does have a good competitive record against France in the last two tournaments, the Euros and the Nations League, and both pretty good games as well, 5-4.
So, final question, bro. How far do you think Spain get?
I know a lot of people will probably have Spain as the winner pick, or at least like losing to Argentina. That's like the one I'm mostly seeing every now and then, or like the most favorable final, that sort of thing. But I would say, knowing that Spain don't have a good World Cup history, because they've only made the semifinal, minimum the semis, twice in what? I think there's been like 22, 23 World Cups since it's been made. And Spain's only been to the semifinal twice. And that was, one of them was in 1950, but that's like ages ago, and 2010 when Spain won. So in a way, I think this is probably, I would say, maybe the best Spain that can make a semifinal. But I don't know, for some reason, I did my predictions, which everyone can check also out on my YouTube. I did my predictions, but I actually said I wouldn't be surprised. Let's say Spain win and gets the H1, wins that game, beats K2, L2, whichever one that will be, and then it's D1 or G1. If it's, I'll say this, if it's Spain versus USA in the quarterfinal, I wouldn't be shocked if Spain get knocked out by USA. And the reason being is Spain actually has a history of going out to the teams that are kind of from the area or whatever. South Korea, 2002, I know it's controversial, but still lost to South Korea. 2006, France, and okay. 2010, won it. 2014, Chile, sort of technically. 2018, lost to Russia, and Russia went that good. 2022, Morocco, somewhat technically from the Middle East, North Africa. So Spain does have a habit of getting eliminated by the least expected team. So I would say, and most of them have come from, where the World Cup is sometimes held. And given that their path does have USA in it, or somehow, I don't think Spain will be able to play Canada or Mexico. So I would say if it's a USA-Spain quarterfinal, I said USA could actually beat Spain.
Wow.
That's all, because I can see Spain getting knocked out, kind of like, I wouldn't say, quarterfinal is not really early, but that sort of thing can happen. But if Spain does make the semis, then it's likely France. And I actually do think, if that's the case, France v Spain, I do think France do get it over the line this time over Spain. So I'll say quarterfinal or semifinal for Spain. But if Spain win it, then of course that's good. But if not, I wouldn't be surprised, I would say. So I'll go my predictions, quarterfinal. But if it's like, the super strong teams, I'll say semifinal, getting knocked out by likely France, it seems like.
Yeah. So there we go, people. There we go. Hopefully you have enjoyed. Please do smash likes if you have. Please check out 10, like I said, for the awesome intro. All of the links on every single one. He was happy enough for me to use it, and I obviously want to show support. So the link is in the description on all of the other ones. Obviously, it's in the description for this one because he's actually on with me. So please check him out if you haven't already. And like I said, collab feature and all of that. And until then, I can't wait for the World Cup. Thanks for coming on, mate. And we out of here, people. Peace.